Dr. Emily Carter here, and I'm going to tell you something about your morning coffee that might shock you. That cup of coffee you're drinking right now, the one you think is harmless or maybe even healthy, could actually be contributing to muscle loss if you're not drinking it the right way. Now, before you panic and think I'm telling you to give up coffee, relax. I'm not. Coffee has benefits. The caffeine can improve mental alertness. The antioxidants have potential health benefits. I drink coffee myself, but there's a problem with coffee for seniors that almost nobody talks about. Coffee interferes with protein absorption. It interferes with muscle protein synthesis. And if you're drinking it at the wrong time or in the wrong way, you're sabotaging your body's ability to maintain muscle mass. This is a big deal. When you're over 50 and already fighting against age-related muscle loss, let me explain what's actually happening. When you drink coffee on an empty stomach, the caffeine triggers a stress response in your body. Your cortisol levels rise. Cortisol is a hormone that, among other things, breaks down muscle tissue to release amino acids for energy. A little cortisol is normal and fine, but if you're drinking coffee first thing in the morning when cortisol is already naturally elevated, you're adding fuel to the fire. You're creating an environment that favors muscle breakdown over muscle building. Coffee also affects your stomach's pH. The acidity of coffee can interfere with the digestion and absorption of protein. If you drink coffee with or right after a protein-rich meal, you might not be absorbing all the protein you think you are. Some of it is passing through undigested. Caffeine has another sneaky effect. It can suppress appetite. Many people drink coffee instead of eating breakfast. They're not hungry because the caffeine is suppressing their appetite signals. So they skip the most important protein opportunity of the day. Their muscles go from an overnight fast straight into a prolonged fast with no protein coming in to support muscle maintenance. So what should you add to your coffee? What's this critical ingredient that protects your muscles? Protein. Specifically, high-quality protein that provides all the essential amino acids your muscles need. You need to add protein directly to your coffee or consume protein at the same time you're drinking coffee. This does several things. First, it provides the building blocks your muscles need for repair and maintenance. Coffee itself doesn't provide these. By combining protein with coffee, you're ensuring that your muscles have access to amino acids even while caffeine is circulating in your system. Second, protein blunts some of the negative metabolic effects of caffeine. It moderates the cortisol response. It reduces the impact on blood sugar. It prevents the catabolic state that black coffee on an empty stomach can create. Third, protein with coffee keeps you fuller longer. You're less likely to skip breakfast or go hours without eating if you've had protein with your coffee. This consistent nutrient intake throughout the day is crucial for muscle maintenance in older adults. Now, what kind of protein should you add? Let me give you several options that actually work and taste good. The most obvious option is protein powder. Whey, protein, casein, or plant-based protein powder can be mixed directly into coffee. This creates what's essentially a protein coffee or a coffee-flavored protein shake. Whey protein is the most popular choice. It dissolves reasonably well in liquid, provides all essential amino acids, and is absorbed quickly. Choose a flavor that complements coffee. Vanilla works beautifully. Chocolate turns your coffee into a mocha. Unflavored whey can also work if you like your coffee taste pure. The trick with mixing protein powder into coffee is temperature. Hot coffee can cause some protein powders to clump or curdle. There are a few ways around this. Let your coffee cool slightly before adding protein. Use a blender or frother to mix it thoroughly, or use protein powder specifically formulated for hot liquids. Some companies make protein powders designed to mix into hot coffee without clumping. These are worth seeking out if you want hot protein coffee without hassle. Collagen peptides are another excellent option. Collagen dissolves beautifully in hot coffee without clumping. It's virtually tasteless, so it doesn't change your coffee flavor. 1 scoop of collagen powder in your morning coffee adds 10 to 15 grams of protein. Collagen isn't a complete protein for muscle building purposes because it's low in certain amino acids, but it does provide glycine, proline, and other amino acids that support connective tissue. For overall protein intake throughout the day, collagen counts and helps preserve muscle by supporting the tissues that surround and connect to muscles. If you don't want to mix anything into your coffee itself, the next best option is consuming protein alongside your coffee. Drink your coffee while eating a protein-rich breakfast. This achieves the same goal. You're getting protein at the same time as caffeine. Greek yogurt is perfect for this. A cup of Greek yogurt has about 20 grams of protein. Have your coffee while eating yogurt with some berries and nuts. Now you've protected your muscles while still enjoying your coffee. Eggs are the classic breakfast protein. 2 or 3 eggs give you 12 to 18 grams of protein. Scramble them, fry them, make an omelet. Drink your coffee with your eggs. Simple and effective. Cottage cheese is another high protein option. 1 cup has about 25 grams of protein. Not everyone loves cottage cheese, but if you do, it's an excellent choice to pair with coffee. A protein smoothie works well. Make a smoothie with protein powder, fruit and milk, or a milk alternative. Drink your coffee first or alongside the smoothie. You're getting substantial protein to offset the caffeine effects. Even a simple peanut butter toast can work. 2 tablespoons of peanut butter provides about 8 grams of protein. Not ideal by itself, but combined with the protein and whole grain bread, you're getting roughly 12 grams. Better than nothing. Here's a strategy many people don't consider. Make your coffee with milk instead of water. A latte made with whole milk provides about 8 grams of protein per cup of milk used. If you're making a large latte with 2 cups of milk, that's 16 grams of protein built right into your coffee. For even more protein, use protein fortified milk. Several brands make milk with added protein. These provide 13 grams of protein per cup instead of 8. A large latte made with protein milk gives you over 25 grams of protein. If you're dairy-free, try soy milk. Regular soy milk provides about 7 grams of protein per cup. Some brands make high-protein soy milk with 10 or more grams per cup. Almond and oat milk are lower in protein, but protein-fortified versions of these are becoming available. Another approach is adding nut butter directly to coffee. It sounds strange, but it works. A tablespoon of almond butter or cashew butter blended into hot coffee creates a creamy, rich drink with added protein and healthy fats. Some people love this, others find it weird. Try it and see. Bone broth mixed with coffee is an unusual combination, but some people swear by it. The bone broth provides collagen and amino acids. Mixed with coffee, it creates a savory coffee drink. This is definitely not for everyone, but if you like savory flavors, it's worth trying. Now let's talk about timing, because when you drink coffee matters almost as much as what you add to it. Drinking coffee first thing in the morning on an empty stomach is the worst case scenario for muscle health. Your cortisol is naturally elevated in the morning. Adding caffeine spikes it further. With no protein in your system, you're in a catabolic state. A better approach is having some protein before your coffee. Eat a small protein-rich breakfast, then have your coffee 30 minutes later, or have them together. Either way, you're not hitting an empty system with caffeine. Some people prefer having coffee an hour or so after a protein breakfast. This spaces things out and might improve protein absorption since the coffee isn't directly interfering with digestion. Afternoon coffee is generally less problematic for muscle health because you've presumably eaten during the day and have amino acids in your system. But even afternoon coffee benefits from being paired with a protein snack. Evening coffee can interfere with sleep, which is crucial for muscle recovery. If you drink coffee in the evening, definitely pair it with protein and keep it to smaller amounts to avoid sleep disruption. Let me address the concern about caffeine and protein absorption more directly. Some research suggests that caffeine doesn't significantly impair protein digestion and absorption if protein is consumed at the same time. The problems arise when coffee is consumed alone without any protein. The cortisol spike from coffee can promote muscle breakdown. But if amino acids are available from dietary protein at the same time, they can be used for muscle building. The net effect becomes neutral or even positive rather than negative. Coffee can interfere with calcium absorption, which matters for bone health. Consuming dairy protein with coffee actually helps offset this because dairy provides calcium. The protein from dairy comes with calcium that helps maintain bone health even in the presence of caffeine. Now let's discuss how much protein you should aim for with your coffee. The research on muscle protein synthesis suggests that you need about 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal to maximally stimulate muscle building, especially after age 50. So, ideally, your coffee should be paired with a meal or drink that provides at least 25 grams of protein. This ensures you're hitting the threshold for muscle protein synthesis. If you're adding protein powder to coffee, 1 scoop typically provides 20 to 25 grams. That's perfect. 1 scoop in your coffee and you've hit your target. If you're having coffee with breakfast, make sure that breakfast provides at least 25 grams of protein. 2 or 3 eggs plus some cheese or yogurt gets you there. Greek yogurt with nuts and seeds hits that target. Spreading protein throughout the day is important for older adults. Having a high-protein coffee in the morning contributes to this goal, but don't think that handles all your protein needs for the day. You need protein at lunch and dinner too, ideally hitting that 25-gram threshold each time. Let me talk about flavor combinations because this matters for consistency. If your protein coffee tastes bad, you won't keep making it. Vanilla protein powder in coffee tastes like a vanilla latte. Add a little cinnamon and it's even better. This is probably the most universally liked combination. Chocolate protein powder creates a mocha. If you like mochas from coffee shops, you'll like this. The chocolate and coffee flavors complement each other naturally. Caramel-flavored protein powder works well in coffee. It creates a sweet dessert-like drink without added sugar. If you're using protein powder sweetened with stevia or other non-caloric sweeteners, unflavored protein powder lets the coffee flavor shine through. You get the protein benefit without changing the taste much. Some people prefer this because they like their coffee to taste like coffee. For collagen, since it's tasteless, you can add it to any coffee preparation. It works in black coffee, coffee with cream, flavored coffee, whatever you like. It's the most versatile option. When making protein coffee in a blender, add other ingredients for extra nutrition and flavor. A scoop of protein powder, coffee, a little coconut oil, or MCT oil for healthy fats. Maybe some cinnamon or cocoa powder. Blend it until frothy. This creates a rich, satisfying drink that supports muscle health and keeps you full for hours. Cold brew protein coffee is fantastic, especially in warmer weather. Make cold brew coffee concentrate. Mix it with protein powder and ice. Shake or blend. You've got a refreshing protein drink that provides caffeine and muscle support. Iced protein lattes work well. Brew strong coffee. Let it cool. Add protein powder or mix with protein milk. Pour over ice. You can prep this the night before and grab it from the fridge in the morning. Now let's address some common concerns. What about the calories in protein-enriched coffee? If you're adding protein powder and milk, you're adding calories. Is this a problem for most seniors? No. In fact, many older adults don't eat enough calories or protein. Adding 200 to 300 calories from a protein coffee might actually be beneficial. It helps you meet protein and energy needs without requiring you to eat a huge breakfast. If you're worried about weight gain, consider that protein is the most satiating macronutrient. A high-protein coffee keeps you full and reduces the likelihood of snacking on less nutritious foods later. The net impact on weight is often neutral or even positive for weight management. What about people with sensitive stomachs who find that protein powder upsets their digestion? Try different types of protein. Whey protein isolate is easier to digest than concentrate for many people. Plant-based proteins might work better if you're sensitive to dairy. Collagen is very gentle on digestion. Having protein with coffee rather than mixed in might help. The solid food proteins like eggs or yogurt might be easier on your stomach than powder. What about the cost? protein powder adds to your grocery budget. Is it worth it? Consider what you're preventing. Muscle loss leads to weakness, falls, fractures, loss of independence. The cost of those consequences far exceeds the cost of protein powder. A container of protein powder costs $30 to $40 and lasts about a month. That's roughly $1 per day. Compare that to the cost of medical care for a fall or fracture, or the cost of losing independence. The preventive value is enormous. You can also use less expensive protein sources. Eggs are cheap. Milk is cheap. These provide excellent protein to pair with coffee without requiring supplements. Let me address the myth that protein is bad for kidneys. This comes up whenever discussing protein supplementation. The truth is that high protein intake is not harmful for people with healthy kidneys. If you have existing kidney disease, you need medical guidance on protein intake. But for healthy older adults, higher protein intake supports muscle maintenance without harming kidneys. In fact, maintaining muscle mass might actually protect kidney function indirectly by supporting overall metabolic health and preventing frailty. What about people taking medications with their coffee? Many people take morning medications with coffee. If you're adding protein to coffee, does this interfere with medication absorption? This depends on the specific medication. Some medications should be taken on an empty stomach. Others need to be taken with food. Check with your pharmacist about your specific medications. For most common medications, taking them with a protein coffee is fine and might even improve tolerance by having something in your stomach. Now, let's discuss coffee alternatives for people who are sensitive to caffeine or want to limit intake. Decaf coffee works the same way. You can add protein to decaf just like regular coffee. You lose the caffeine effects, but you still get the coffee flavor and antioxidants. Cory coffee is a caffeine-free alternative that tastes similar to coffee. You can add protein to Cory drinks the same way. Herbal coffee substitutes made from roasted grains and roots provide coffee-like flavor without caffeine. Add protein to these for a muscle-up supporting morning beverage. Even if you're not drinking coffee at all, the principle remains important. Whatever you're drinking in the morning, pair it with protein, green tea with Greek yogurt, herbal tea with eggs, water with a protein smoothie. The coffee isn't the enemy. The lack of protein is the problem. Let me give you a simple morning protocol to implement this. Wake up and prepare your coffee as usual. While it's brewing, get out your protein source. If using powder, have it measured and ready. If eating food protein, start cooking your eggs or get your yogurt from the fridge. When coffee is ready, either mix in your protein powder using a frother or blender to prevent clumping, or sit down with your coffee and your protein food. Consume them together or within the same 15-minute window. Don't drink coffee and then wait an hour to eat breakfast. Don't eat breakfast and then have coffee hours later on an empty stomach. Together is better. If you work out in the morning, have your protein coffee either right before or right after exercise. The combination of caffeine for energy and protein for muscle support is ideal around training. On non-training days, have your protein coffee as your breakfast or a major part of it. This establishes the pattern of always pairing coffee with protein. The conclusion is straightforward. Coffee alone creates a catabolic environment that promotes muscle breakdown, especially problematic for seniors already fighting age-related muscle loss. Adding protein directly to coffee or consuming protein simultaneously protects your muscles by providing essential amino acids and moderating caffeine's metabolic effects. Whether you use protein powder mixed into coffee, drink coffee with high-protein foods, or make lattes with protein-fortified milk, the key is never drinking coffee on an empty stomach. This simple habit protects your muscle mass while allowing you to enjoy your morning